Sir Ian McKellen, known for his role as Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings, is the great-great-grandson of the man who invented the concept of a weekend.
Workplace stories
segment. No, let me just stop you there. Did you almost forget our tradition?
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Episode 8.
Ocho.
Or ocho. Or 8 for you English fellows. Yeah, what are we doing today? We have a special topic to discuss.
We do.
What were you doing there?
Doing a little... Will you marry me?
Will you marry me?
If you come over here quickly from episode 7, then hello again. Nice to see you so soon. If you're staying tuned weekly by weekly, then you're an absolute legend for staying with us. Make sure to hit that follow button because
subscribe
button as well, because there's a lot of people who are watching this that aren't subscribed. What are you doing?
Yeah, just hit it. It's for free.
And also something I don't think we've ever said up till now.
Yeah.
Hit the bell.
Hit the bell.
The notifications bell.
On.
I only noticed it the other day.
100%. Very, very
so,
true.
So hit the bell this time, maybe. If you haven't hit something,
come on. Summer's around the corner. The weather's hotting up.
It is.
Things are getting spicy.
It's getting warm.
Yeah, just subscribe.
Some beautiful weather lately, I think. Maybe filming this.
What are we discussing today? Ollie?
Anyway, we're discussing today finding your business partner, your partner in crime, your Bonnie to your Clyde, your salt to your pepper, your peanut butter to your jelly, and building a team around you that ends up making you the monolithic business you wish to be.
Yeah, I mean, we've kind of alluded to it slightly in a couple of episodes.
We have.
But we're going to properly have a little deep dive into this now.
Exactamundo. Like we touched on it, I think, back in episode 2 or 3 or whatever.
Yeah, 2 and
also,
3.
when we went on to the business plan, you got to speak about your partnerships and all that sort of stuff. However, as Jamie said, there's a lot more to this than just as simple as saying, oh, find your business partner. Step 3. Do you know what I mean? That section of being able to start a business is so important, and it can come through from friends, family, networking, colleagues, a whole array of things. We're going to get into that today in a lot of detail as to how you can do it, really.
Yeah.
But before we do,
we have a workplace stories
No,
segment.
let me just stop you there. Did you almost forget our tradition?
No, of course
you didn't.
How would I?
How would you? It's not like we've ever done that before.
It's on the topic as well.
It is.
Bit of love.
We've got the love scratch.
Love to win.
The love doctors. I went first last time, so do you want to kick us off, pal?
So you need 3 identical numbers. You have 6 chances.
6 chances.
Row 1.
Yeah.
8. Ocho. Oh my god, it's ocho as well.
For the episode. It's almost like it's meant to be.
8, 8, 9. Then the rest was just shit. And nothing else.
On the other hand, row 1, row 2, row 3 was shit. Row 4.
No way.
5 and 6 was shit as well. So absolutely, that was an amazing throw. So yeah.
What were you trying to aim at?
Do you know what? I looked into this yesterday. I looked into the statistics of winning on Scratch Cards. Actually, side note, because you guys would have come from episode 7 where we won.
Yes.
We have now announced who won on the little competition we put out there back in week 2 or 3.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Somebody had to guess what episode we won on the sliders, and the absolute legend out there, Ryan Morrell. We'll put a little picture of you if you've got a picture of the sliders probably up here. But well done to you. You won the poll of who was going to
You won the question, and you got yourself a pair of signed sliders.
I'm
sure we'll be doing something similar.
There'll be other competitions
later on down the line, and then there'll be more things where we're up the stakes.
Exactamundo. But anyway.
So follow our socials.
Follow the socials.
Anyway, workplace stories.
Workplace stories! And we're in with workplace stories today, telling you about the steamy, spicy gossip of the office romance.
Very
workplace
topical.
Stories. Very topical on this episode where we talk about your business partners, your colleagues, and your perfect matches. So some of these are brutal. Some of these are happy endings, but we'll get straight on into
Happy
it.
endings.
Happy endings in every sense of the word. I'll kick us off. It's called The Old Boss.
The Old Boss.
A colleague and I had discreetly started dating in the office. And we tried to keep things on the DL. We'd exchanged super long emails, threads of steamy hot messages,
Steamy.
back and forth all day. Some of you are raunchy out there.
On email.
In one of our work emails,
Oh, jeez.
in one of our work emails, I asked him if he had our boss's old email address so I could get a reference because he'd left the company a few months prior.
Okay.
Just in the email thread, obviously all the stuff's there, but they talk about some normal things. The guy responded, accidentally CCing in our old boss to the email thread rather than sending her his email. She was mortified.
Oh, wait, but it's an old boss.
Yeah, the old boss then seemed pretty amused by the whole thing, replying to both of us that he'd always suspected something was going on when he was working there. But yeah, they basically CC'd in their old boss with all their steamy, hot,
dirty
raunchy,
emails.
dirty
They're very lucky as an old boss and not
without
like
a doubt.
current.
I tell you
That
one
would
thing.
have stuffed them up.
We were looking into this segment, people. We were going through stories all out there in the world. I tell you one thing. There are hundreds, and I mean hundreds of affair stories.
Crazy.
Manager, like new colleague,
is actually
boss,
crazy.
Employee. You guys, keep it in your pants, man.
I mean,
It's so
it is
bad.
mental. I know a few personal stories, but
Oh,
I'll probably
say
share
that for the Patreon.
Yeah, I'll share it on the Patreon. Not here.
Noted.
Not due for here. But with that, have you ever heard of like a work wife as well?
I have.
The term
I've
work
never had
wife.
one, but yeah.
It's, I only came across this term like recently.
Yeah.
Didn't realize it was a thing at all.
No.
But apparently people like have their
There's
own
this-
like work wife
yeah,
and their
yeah.
normal wife.
There's a skit out there. I'll have to
crazy.
find it, but it's a skit where the guy's there, like, he brings his actual wife. She drops him off at work. He gets out the car and like gives a kiss to this woman, and like they're talking about a holiday they're going on. The wife's like, "Hey, what's going on?" And he's like, "I told you, this is my work wife." She's like, "Yeah, that's just like a thing people say." He was like, "No, we're going on. We're engaged." Like he starts saying all this
I
stuff.
love that. That's
I was
brilliant.
cracking up. So funny.
Anyway,
Go on.
moving on. My one, yeah?
Yeah.
The late night show host and the young assistant.
Oh, you know this is bad. Go on.
Yeah. It's a news show, by the way. A late night one. So, a young lady, 26 years old, fresh into the late night TV show, was starstruck
Yeah.
when she met this chap in his 50s. Very charming old chap.
I see. How much
Apparent-
older?
In his 50s, so
Ooh,
maybe 30 odd years.
almost twice her age, eh?
Yeah, bit scary. Anyway, apparently he's very magnetic, very charming.
Of course.
Always remembered her name, which made her very smitten.
Oh, bless.
Aw. Then one night, a lingering touch shifted everything at an after party.
Yeah.
They had an affair. The
Yeah.
guy had kids, a wife, everything. Had his whole life set
There
up,
it is.
essentially. But essentially what happened was his reputation
Mm-hmm.
got ruined off the back of this. She then left because of all the drama that was happening.
Yeah.
Then settled in her own career. And now at 32, apparently he has returned to her network
Oh no, he's back.
in the same career
back for
space.
more.
Yeah. So she's like, might go there again. But they split paths and now they come back.
See,
Awkward.
some of this stuff out there when you know you shouldn't. Oh, it's a hard temptation to resist.
But do you like think if he's done it before, like with her, he's probably done it before?
Yeah, but some people have
Surely.
like a thing for that. It's mad. Some people are really like it. Like gets them going. Anyway,
Crazy.
anyway. Before we make everyone hot under the collar, I'll move on. I've got a happy one here.
Go on.
So the receptionist at my old workplace fancied the pants off one of our third-party support engineers, who occasionally covered calls for us from our engineering base. He would not shut up about the gorgeous receptionist that he was too shy to talk to every time he came in. So obviously they've got these two people on the side of the business that fancy each other. So a colleague and myself hatched a plan. We made a support call to his company and said he could only cover it as it was something he dealt with in the past. He then turns up and they then sat him down and locked him in a room and told him he wasn't allowed to leave the building until he asked the receptionist out. End of the day, we marched him down to the receptionist and said, "Okay, do you fancy him? He's crazy about you. For the love of God, just sort this out." Anyway, when this was written, we got invites to the wedding the next year. Happy ending, eh?
Hey,
Worked
it does
out for the
happen. It does
best.
happen.
Two colleagues locked him in a room, but like it worked out for the best.
I mean, You do hear a lot of colleagues getting together and it working
Exactly.
as well, so it is a good thing.
Yeah, happy days.
Yeah, definitely, man. So here we go. 5 years of a secret love.
Oh, 5
a
years.
lifetime of regret.
Oh no.
He was 45, married, a father to a couple of kids.
Records playing again.
She was 38, a fellow colleague,
Okay.
a friend.
Close friend.
It started with harmless conversations,
Yeah.
which led to late night texts. Then, a 5-year affair.
Simple as that.
Apparently, it all started with a little hotel room, and then they kept going away, kept going on business breaks, go to each other's hotel rooms, everything like that. Apparently, his wife also nearly caught them once, but it didn't stop him
Yeah.
from continuing. Then one day, the woman
Yeah.
disappeared without a word.
Got you.
He is now 60. His wife died, so he's a widow.
Oh no.
And he's still wondering where this girl's gone, apparently. He's reached out on these forums, is where I found it.
Really?
And is asking. Yeah.
Jeez, that's mad. To be fair, that reminds me of something. I know this is a personal story through work and business trips that I've been in and around in my life. There's this thing that happens, you see.
Go on.
A couple of little, when you go on your office excursions, I'll tell you a couple of things that might be the signs that people are interested.
Ooh.
So,
Love guru.
basically, you know when people go on these office work trips and stuff and they're down really, they got the hotel with all the office people, the Christmas party, so on and so forth. A couple of things that I've been hearing about outside of the stories that I've got. If somebody apparently asks you, hey, do you mind if I borrow a charger? That's apparently the first sign, right? So that's a little trigger for you people. If somebody's asking, can you borrow a charger, bring it to their room, careful now. And the second one, what I thought was just so much more revealing, if somebody leaves a Fanta can of Fanta outside of their door in their hotel while you're on one of these work trip excursions, it has another meaning.
Yeah.
And it means it's an anagram to fuck and not tell anyone. Usually coming from somebody who's in a relationship themselves. How juicy is that?
Very,
so the
very
Fanta for the Fanta can. If someone leaves a Fanta can outside their room, I'll tell you,
I've
the
heard
door's
of the
unlocked.
Fanta can before, but I've never seen it.
Mad.
Crazy
mad,
though.
Mad.
Never seen it in my workspace anyway, that's for sure.
Anyway, I'll get on to my next story. So, I was interning at a small record label with only 4 employees. At any given moment, you could be working with one of the other persons for an entire day. On one of those days, when everyone else was out, I ended up having sex with the employee in the office that I was paired with. We were going at it doggy style. And afterwards, he told me that the condom ripped and he'd accidentally finished inside of me. So she had to get a plan B. Anyway, she was dating another guy in the office at the time, more seriously. So she then lied and said to the new guy she might have gotten him pregnant and made that guy pay for the pill for her to make sure that she wasn't pregnant.
Oh my.
How brutal is that? In the
That's
same office
savage.
space, she's sleeping with somebody, accidentally might, and then she gets the other geezer to pay for the plan B. Whoa.
Be careful out there.
That is ruthless.
You gotta be careful. That is
Oh,
savage.
it's so savage.
I don't even know what to say to that. That's actually
Speechless.
crazy. Yeah, I am.
Speechless.
Here we go.
Go on.
The office romance that cost her everything.
Heart's breaking.
Apparently, she was one of the best at this dealership.
Mm-hmm.
Very smart, respected,
Yeah.
irreplaceable, some say. However, he was the boss.
Big boy.
Powerful, dangerous,
Dangerous.
drawn to this girl, right?
Oh,
This lady
bless her.
who was obviously irreplaceable, really respected.
Deer in the headlights.
The tension between them had always been there. But after her marriage had crumbled,
Ooh.
the boundaries vanished.
Door was open.
100%. The affair was reckless, passionate. And soon everybody knew.
I bet.
One morning, she was called into the office
Yeah.
randomly
Mm-hmm.
and let go. No reason, just whispers.
Ooh.
Their relationship continued
Okay.
even after he moved to another dealership.
I see.
Then history repeated itself. he was caught again
Oh no.
with someone new.
Oh no.
So he's got 3 birds on the go.
Jeez, how did he do it?
This time, he was the one who lost everything. Apparently, when getting caught,
Yeah.
she came out, also said he's done this before, and the company let them go. And after that, she's now walked away and like started her own little life.
Mad.
Once a cheat, always a cheat.
That's
Gotta
what
be
they
careful.
say. That's
Gotta
what
be
they
careful.
say. Okay, I've got the last one here. This one is, I mean, it's an abundance of words. I'll just stick with vile as the main oversight. This is called the Aberdeen Sandwich Van
Is it
email.
graphic?
It's a bit graphic for you people out there. Maybe have a little disclaimer here.
Disclaimer.
If you Google this story, it's a 100% true story, by the way.
What's it called?
It's called the Aberdeen Sandwich Van email. Here we go.
Van.
2 colleagues were having an affair for several years. Another couple. Yeah, they're everywhere. The man was married.
They're in Aberdeen.
The man was married with 2 kids.
Wait, do a Scottish accent.
And the lass, she was engaged.
That was
Bringing
good.
out my inner Braveheart.
That was good.
I'm gonna scrap that now. They thought that nobody else knew, but everybody knew
Yeah,
because
typical.
they used to use the office postal system. Now you might go, what could they possibly use that for? Well, the lass, she used to send her used knickers with little love notes to him, and he'd respond with all sorts of things. One of them being a jar of his finish. We'll call it. Simon.
Oh,
Simon.
my goodness.
So yeah, and a little letter that said, "Drink this and then kiss your husband or kiss your fiance." Absolutely rancid stuff. Anyway, this goes back and forth for months, and all the people in the office postal system are seeing this going on, so everybody knows, right?
What are they like? When you say postal system, what are they like reading this?
I guess so. They're sending this through the office postal system to one
That's
another. Anyway,
mental.
they were both made redundant because of disassociated issues, apparently just not being very good at their job anyway. The man's wife, so the boss man, his wife then announced to the company and everybody that she knew about the affair, like everybody else, for years. And the reason why she hadn't told anybody was because for the last 3 years, she'd been keeping a significant amount of her husband's money aside each month to support her and the kids after she kicked him out. So she'd known about this and was just like stockpiling. The couple who had the affair are now officially together. And everybody's parted their own ways. But that is mental, using the office postal system for that sort of stuff.
But also just break up with the other person,
exactly.
like before you start any of that stuff, because that's just going to bite you in the arse.
It just is. It is. There's
Horror.
hundreds of stories that are said out there. So just behave yourselves, people. If you don't, like, mess around, but be honest with your actual partners. Don't go using the office
What do you
places
think,
like...
though, getting in a partnership or relationship with a work colleague? Do you think it's a yes, or it should be forbidden?
My thoughts do this on the matter.
Yeah.
The reason why they do this is because in today's society, it's actually really difficult to meet people. And so, like, sometimes the workplace, if you're not doing dating apps, then the workplace is like the only place you have to meet people. So you end up going down that avenue. So I'm on the side of the fence at the moment where I'm saying, yeah, it's cool, but like try and keep it outside of work. Don't let it intersect with work too much and become some sort of like story about the place.
Do you think there's like a line though? If you're the boss or you're a certain grade, because like imagine, right? If you're a manager, and you're working with someone who you're dating at the time, right?
Yeah.
You break up. You're telling me that's not going to interfere with your work life?
You're entirely right. I mean,
it's also the thing,
it's
like
that whole question of like when you get told you can't do something, it makes you want to do it 10 times more.
Oh, I don't know. Not for me. I never have that. But like like uni and stuff like that. And you got like flat cessed. It's like work cessed. That's what they call it as well.
Yeah, exactly. It almost becomes like a secondary version of school when you're in a workplace, just to like have these
you're around them every day.
Relationships and all this sort of like gossip.
You're around them every day.
Conflict, yeah. So I say it's kind of inevitable.
Well, drop it in the comments down below.
Yeah, tell us your stories.
Do you
if
think
you've had any crazy stories
and also,
involving office romances?
Do you think that people should be able to date in workplaces?
Yeah, we'll get HR involved. Anyway, let's get back into the episode now. And we're back from workplace stories. There are some mental ones in there.
That was gruesome.
Some vile ones as well.
Horror.
Some of you are nasty. Nasty,
Your last
nasty,
story was
nasty.
horrible.
It was. Sorry for the squeamish.
Gonna have
you out there.
nightmares.
Anyway, back onto the topic today. We're talking about finding your business partner, your protege, and then building an Avengers style of team around you that will take on the business world.
I like it.
Question of the week, though.
Go on.
Should you mix friendship or family with business? Now, obviously we have, but what are your overall thoughts as to the risks and rewards between friendship and family
I mean,
and business?
there's a lot of pros and cons. I think for us, it works quite well.
It does.
But I feel like we've gone through what we need to make it work in terms of the essentials. For me, I think one of the main pros, if we're going to start with pros, is your trust and loyalty.
Yeah, without a doubt.
It's huge.
Yeah.
You can guarantee you can rely on your friend or your family member to do something. I think you need to make sure you pick the right person, though.
Without a doubt.
Of course, you might have like siblings that you cannot trust, but regardless, whoever you do pick, you're probably most likely going to get that.
You're right, and that sort of loyalty that you have with the other person will help you when it comes to the financial side of things as well. Like having that financial resource between the two of you. Like I know for a fact that I've got false shorts when it comes to the business side of stuff. One of them being the financial sort of intelligence, and I can trust you with that completely. To have that trust in you is a sense of the loyalty that's come from 8 years of friendship.
Yeah, definitely.
If I'm trusting somebody who I just know as a colleague from somewhere else, who's there like, oh yeah, I know more about the finances, it's a risky game.
You're not going to have that cohesiveness, are you? Whereas
you're really
almost
second-guessing
guarantee
everything.
that with someone who you've known for X amount of years.
Exactly. When you send me a message like, oh, it costs this much for this, I'm like, yeah, cool. I'm not having to double check that. Whereas if it's somebody else, you add an extra barrier really in the
being able to rely on them and fully trust them.
Yeah.
That's what we're saying, yeah.
Secondly to that,
yeah,
having trust and sort of respect for somebody is a massive thing, and it also helps you take on advice. I can say this to everybody who's going to start a business. There will be so many times you feel like a complete and utter idiot, and you'll feel like you have no idea what you're talking about, no idea what you're doing, and you need somebody who's got that know-how of you as a person to then give you advice to help support you in the process, because it's not going to be easy. If you're doing this independently, obviously it's not something you have to worry about. But to be self-critical, to be progressive as an individual, I will take on advice from you when I know, even if you're having to say like 10 things in the space of a week, even when it comes to that 10th thing, I might be a bit frustrated because I'm really having a bad week, but I'll take on advice when it comes from somebody that I trust. Whereas if it was somebody I didn't trust and I felt like they were just nitpicking, I'm a stubborn person. I'll end up biting someone's head off.
100%.
I know I would.
Well, I feel like it's because you know that comes from a good place, doesn't it? And
yeah.
they have your best interest at heart, ultimately.
Without a doubt.
I think to touch on that, like particularly when we were doing our, I guess, not interviews, pitches to the investors. Yeah. There was one point where I guess we were kind of getting a little bit grilled in a way from one of the investors. Yeah. And I was just like, oh my God.
Gave up.
I just not gave up. I was just like, this is going nowhere. I could tell it was going nowhere. Kind of wanted it to end. I was just like, this is boring me to death. But luckily, I had Ollie, who could kind of like jump in and save the day in a way and motivate me to then jump in again. And I was honestly, my emotion level was going high to low. I was like, you're so right, Ollie. I was like, oh, God.
You get demotivated by the person speaking to us. Then I was trying to motivate you again, and you were doing this.
And I think you could tell I was just like flatlining. I was just like, not there.
Yeah, the 2 hours went by, and at the end of it, after the call,
it was a tough call.
You embraced me. You were like, "Thank you so much."
I was just like, "Fair play, mate," because you stayed motivated for that whole duration. And I was like, after an hour, I was
blind ambition. That's what it is.
Exactly, but I think that also comes with that emotional support element, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's being able to like rely on someone to either motivate you, or if you know you're in a bit of a foul mood, they can pick up on these things quite quickly. Whereas someone from out of, I guess, your circle won't really understand that.
No, the motivating is massive. When I've got also a task on the horizon that I need to finish or complete, or something I need to get done by tomorrow, let's say, because I know that it's to allow you and me to progress, I'm that motivation's there. It's like having a firework up your backside.
It's like another extra motivation, isn't it?
Yeah, whereas if somebody that you they're a companion, they're a colleague of some sort of like distant sort of relative or sort, I don't know. But like if they're just somebody in the midst, then I will happily throw out an excuse or two. I'll happily push that date to another day. I'll say, oh, I'm just feeling a bit sick today. Whereas if it's your best mate, or if it's like one of your family members, you're going to kind of go, I need to be kept accountable here.
And well, there's an element of, you almost know that they can call you out whereas
True.
maybe someone you don't know might hesitate to do so.
Yeah. But talk a little bit about the cons, because there is a negative side to this as well. Having that layer of professional within a relationship that's been so personal for so many years can be a bit risky.
Yeah.
You can have financial struggles come between you, work problems come between you, all sorts of things that can affect your friendship. And you don't want them to become friendship problems.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't want to mix your personal with professional.
No.
That's for sure.
It's about creating a divide.
100%. I mean, you need to be able to know when to switch between work mode and friendship mode. And I think it's important not to let those two collide in a way, because you don't want to lose a friendship, but ultimately you don't want to lose a business as well. No. So you need to make sure you're fulfilling both ends.
And we've spoken about this between the two of us. Having failures and successes is going to be a part of our daily experience. We shouldn't allow that to affect the dynamic that we have with each other, because it's a part of starting any business. And that's kind of where the podcast comes into it. For yourselves at home to understand our own failures and successes is crucial. It's about the integrity of knowing what this reality is for the two of us, but it also allows us to go, there's no such thing as a failure anymore, because what a failure is a benefit to you people at home. And it's a benefit to us when we start a venture in the future in another capacity, because we can look back at this and go, that's where we screwed up, which will happen.
It's all
so
documented.
Many times.
Yeah, it's all documented, and it's for your entertainment as well, which is brilliant. So we kind of see it as a mini win in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think, another con for me is obviously getting that unequal contribution. So if you feel like one person's contributing a lot more, then this can cause a lot of like frustration and maybe teething issues with your friend, which you don't really want, because like we mentioned earlier, that professional element could then drag into your personal. And when you're going out for beers or whatever it may be with your friends, in the back of your head, you're like, this guy's not pulling his weight, yet he's having fun doing this and this and this. It's
a good point, but kind of on the flip side of that as well, because I know that I'm doing a business with you, I know the dynamic of your schedule, your work life, your social life so well from 8 years of friendship that I know you can only commit a certain amount of hours one week or a little bit more the next week.
Yeah.
Or you've got the capacity to do this and I've got the capacity to do that. And I know that they're always going to be differently balanced. You're never, ever, ever going to get 50-50 in terms of the workload and the capacity and the time spent on creating a business between two people. It just won't happen. One person will always end up, whether it's 51% or a 70-30 split, one person will give more. But because I know it's you, I can appreciate what that schedule looks like. If it's somebody I don't know so well, I'll end up taking the sort of fifth on going, look, I don't think they're pulling their weight. I'm just not going to say anything. And it's just going to bubble up for you over time. But they could actually just be like you, having a normal life for themselves and pulling as much weight as they can. But because I don't know them so well, I take it as a personal sort of offense.
True. And I think in business, like you mentioned, it is all about adapting. So if, for example, I'm ill maybe one week, and Ollie's got to pick up on some of the tasks that I can't be doing at the moment because I'm trying to recover.
Yeah.
That's something Ollie needs to be able to do. However, if Ollie's ill, then I can do the exact same. So it's all about, like you said, there's never going to be a 50-50 moment. No. There's always going to be some person working a bit harder than the other, but it will almost contribute and equal itself out in a way.
Well, having like that equal balance is another thing I've looked into outside of the question of the week, which is just the dynamic of finding that person. So once you've gone through that question in your own mind of going, should I be entering the world of business with a friend or a family member or somebody independent outside of that, whatever the choice comes it for you, you need to set aside some time to have that reflection in order to go, who is it and who do they need to effectively be in order for this business to work? Step one of that is understanding yourselves. Like, it's a tough process to go through because you have to be pretty damn honest with yourself.
100%. You need self-love. I mean, even in a relationship, this is obviously the business world we're talking in, but in a relationship, you need to love yourself before you can go out and mingle.
And part of that is knowing your strengths and your weaknesses. Like, to identify what your weaknesses are is a really good process in going, okay, this is where I fall short and I need somebody to complement that. When it comes to self-love, finding the right partner in a relationship is the exact same as finding 100%. The right partner in a business. It's weirdly romantic.
Uncanny. It's weird, isn't it? It is.
So going through that self-assessment, start by evaluating your strengths and your weaknesses. And this, a really easy way to do this, instead of go, okay, well, how do I do that? When we spoke about creating a business plan a couple of episodes ago, you'll have a list of roles and responsibilities in the setup of the organizational side of your business plan. Grab a little highlighter and go, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, I'm good at this, and I can learn this, and then go through again and go, I am shit at this, I'm crap at this, and there's no chance in hell I'm doing that. I know for a fact that my literacy when it comes to the financial sides and some other sides of the business isn't me. And so I have to lean on you in that sort of capacity. And I needed you to
need
fill
to
up.
be able to have that open conversation. So when you're doing it, actually sit down with your business partner at the time, or the one you're looking to go into work with, and both go through it together. Be like, I can pick up that. I'm happy. I'm confident in that. And the other guy might be like, are you sure?
Yeah.
And then you're like, yeah, we're all good, mate. We're all
Definitely.
good. But yeah, moving on, like with that strength and weaknesses side of things, you don't want someone who's super strong in one element and someone who's really weak in another. You kind of want a good overall balance. As I mentioned earlier, if I'm ill or something and you need to pick up whatever work I'm working on, I need to know that you can do that.
Yeah.
And vice versa. But for example, in our kind of relationship that we have, you're quite like a creative, visionary person.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd say I'm a bit more task orientated, try to be a bit more detailed and structured.
That's it. The tap's open with me. It's just flowing ideas constantly.
100%.
It doesn't ever stop. I can't sleep at night. I'm just like,
but I think that's why when we got together, we knew that it'd work so well, because we knew that about each other already from 8 years of a friendship.
Yeah.
But also when we tapped into it a bit more, it worked so perfectly because we can really hone in on one of your ideas and create it to be something brilliant by giving it a bit of structure.
Exactly. And just because we've got differing techniques to how we approach business,
It doesn't
I'm
matter
the more
at all, though.
thought processed individual, you're the more logistic processed individual. One thing that you do have to be on the same page about is the overall vision. So my point being is, once you know what the end goal is, so the end goal for us is X, Y, and Z, we're on the exact same page with that, and then we work backwards from there. If you're on a different page as to what your vision is overall and what your end game is, it's all going to come down like a house of cards. So you need to be on the same page as far as your values and your vision go, in order to allow you to
100%.
then decipher who's going to do
like
what
if
in the
your
process.
if your need is to just earn money and the other person's need is to go actually make an impact or help someone, you're never going to align, and ultimately this guy's going to chase the money and this person's going to chase helping people, and you're just going to go your separate ways.
And a good way to kind of go about that is testing the waters.
Yeah.
So I've spoken about this before, just between us personally. We've found ways, unintentionally, weirdly, to actually test the waters of how we work together.
Yeah.
So we've got a yearly holiday we go on with the lads every year. There's like 6 or 7 of us.
Honestly, they are terrible, that group.
The only 2 that could organise the trip is the 2 of us. And we benefit each other in that in order to get to an end game, even as far as the group chat goes.
Yeah, honestly.
It's just unbelievable sometimes, isn't it?
They're terrible. They're terrible. They know who they are as well, but it's just the group chat's lacking right now. And me and Ollie are the only ones who kind of keep it alive, to be honest.
Yeah, and it's really funny because then we get blamed for everything as well. Like,
it's a lot of weight on our shoulders.
It is. I always put in like the plans and the organisations and the tasks or whatever that we need to do in the chat. And I'll get called out if I don't put it in on time, even though I'm the only one who ever puts it in. And then you get called out for being the Karen for like chipping at people if they haven't got back to it.
Because no one will reply to it. And I'll be like, guys, everyone reply.
Yeah.
And then they will go, oh, go away.
So we just lean on each other. We just bitch about them. Like, you lads. Unbelievable.
This is pretty much half
Love
our
you to
podcast.
bits, but Jesus Christ, lads. Yeah, so that's the point. If you test the waters with your business partner in order to see how you get to the end game, and making sure that there's times when we plan these trips and these holidays where things don't go well and we both kind of go, right, what are we going to do now? To have that means you've tested the waters for when things go wrong in the business. What do we do now? If you let it all fall to shit after something goes wrong with this person you're trying to start a project with outside of the business, and you can see it going wrong, reevaluate or pick another person.
Also, something that we did was we made sure that we put a lot of effort in behind actually starting. So we did a bit of research and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's also a brilliant way to gauge whether your partner in business is a good one and someone you want to stick with. Because we didn't really chuck any money into it. We just did a lot of research for about a good year, and like planning and kind of getting our vision, etc., etc. And in that time frame, if something wasn't to click or work, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah, it's about, like, you're entirely right when you said that last point. Give yourself the time to understand one another before you don't go rushing into a business with somebody, no matter if it is somebody you're really good friends with. You do need to give it some time in order to test like the waters, because if you don't and you rush it, it could affect all sorts of things.
Oh, exactly. You just don't want to chuck money into something that's not been planned or someone you don't really know.
Exactly. Anyway, Should we crack into our next segment of the episode? We're
Yes.
getting into one that I'm sweating about, to be truly honest. Because of my previous endeavour, we're getting into Battle of the Hosts, where the punishment is
a big one.
A big one.
It's a big one.
All right, let's go.
I'm gonna sweat buckets now.
Honestly, I feel like I need a piss now.
I'll put a jumper on.
Right, well, we're into it here, people, with Battle of the Hosts.
Everything on the line.
Such a horrible... Do we want to tell them the punishment now?
Yeah, we're telling them now.
Go on, give them the good
Whoever
news.
loses this segment will have to spin the Bizz Wheel later on in this episode, and you will see what punishment.
It was so brutal the first. If I get it twice in a row, I'm going to be mortified.
It'll be brilliant.
I need you for my mental health. I need you to lose.
Go on. So today,
we're doing true or falses today. So it pretty much comes down to 50-50 as to who's gonna win, who's gonna lose. So a series of true and false. So I'm going to start us off with facts about entrepreneurs and famous people, and you're going to kick us off with
count
facts about companies.
on what I get right.
On what you get right. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll keep count what you get right.
8 each.
8 each. Right. I'm just
Right. So wait.
get straight
Sorry,
into
you're
it.
doing entrepreneurs, yeah?
I'm doing entrepreneurs, famous people, entrepreneurs, business owners, all that sort of stuff.
Interesting. Go ahead.
Okay.
Oh, it's like quiz
True or false?
I don't know.
Richard Branson's intended for Virgin to initially be a space exploration company, not a commercial travel company. True or false?
True.
False! Yes! Yes!
Honestly,
yes.
I had no clue.
Yes. Okay. Next up.
That was a bit over the top.
Yes. Next up. Walt Disney, founder of Disney, was also the co-founder of Walton's, which later got changed and bought and rebranded to become the supermarket chain Walmart.
Which flopped, didn't Walmart flop?
Walmart, the big American supermarket
Is
brand.
it American?
So it was originally called Walton's.
Woolworths, what I'm thinking.
Yeah, so it was originally called Walton's, got changed to Walmart. Walt Disney was one of the co-founders.
Why?
Of
Because it was
Walton's.
so long. True.
False. Yes, yes, yes. Next up.
It's fine, I got 6 more.
The Goldman Sachs current CEO is also a part-time DJ with over 250,000 Spotify subs.
That's mental. True.
Shit. Yes, it's true. How mad is that though? The Goldman Sachs
That's
CEO
mental.
was a part-time DJ with over 250,000 Spotify subs.
crazy.
He's done like festivals and
He's got
stuff.
cash.
He's the Goldman Sachs CEO. Mad.
How's he have that spare time?
Right. Sir Ian McKellen, known for his role as Gandalf in The Lord of the Rings,
Okay.
is the great-great-grandson of the man who invented the concept of a weekend. In terms of like weekdays, weekend.
False.
True. How crazy is that though?
That's mental.
I know you're not happy about it. but
Gandalf.
you know the guy who plays Gandalf in Lord of the Rings?
How's that an entrepreneur?
He always Sir Ian McKellen. He's got businesses and he's had other like
I don't know.
stuff in the theatre industry. His great-great-grandfather invented the concept of having a weekend to a week. That's mad, isn't it? Great-great-grandfather.
Great.
Great-great-grandfather.
So when was a weekend invented?
Whatever 3 generations
That's
ago
crazy.
it was.
That's like not that long ago.
Well, 3 generations, like 150 years.
Yeah.
That's quite a while ago. He's an
The
old chap as
Weekend.
well. He's also like in his 80s, I think. So like you're talking almost 200 years ago.
Yeah, the weekend though.
Yeah, so I guess like factory workers at that time decided
That's
to say,
mental.
"Oh yeah, we're gonna have a week and a weekend."
Does he
and
get cash for that?
I don't know. But anyway, so you've got one
All
right
right,
so far.
moving on.
Deborah
1 out of
Meaden.
4. Not good.
Do you know Deborah Meaden?
Yeah, she like Dragon's Den, isn't she?
Her first business was a bingo stand at a Butlins resort.
False.
True.
Fuck
Oh, it's giving me
me.
hope.
This is not good, guys.
Elon Musk sent his electric blue Tesla car into space as part of SpaceX's mission, while the car radio was set to play the song Space Cowboy by the Steve Miller Band.
I know he sent a car up, but I don't know if the song's right. False.
Shit. Yeah, it's false. It was his very first red Tesla car, and it was playing the song "Mission to Mars" by. Yeah, so that was the song.
Cheeky boy.
So I tried to change enough to make it a hard false.
Boy.
So you got 2 left, and you've got 2 correct so far.
Jeez, that's not good.
Stephen Bartlett only got through 1 lecture at Manchester University before dropping out.
True.
It is true. How crazy is that? 1 lecture.
I know he dropped out of uni. That's mental though. That is
1 lecture.
He's like, nope. See ya.
Finally, you mentioned this entrepreneur recently, which is why I thought I'd bring him back for something. Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson has had breast reduction surgery after suffering from self-esteem issues.
False.
True.
Really?
So he's got this. I didn't want to say what the thing is, like gynocochlear or something like that.
Jeez.
And it's basically where he has like man boobs, basically.
That's
and
crazy.
he got them reduced so that it was just like tight to his pectorals. So Dwayne "The Rock"
He's had
Johnson
surgery.
has
He's
had
fake.
breast reduction
All right.
surgery.
Damn it.
So you got
That's
3.
not good. That is not good at all.
Wait, did you get 3 or 4? 1, 2,
3. I'm pretty
3.
sure
I think you got 3.
Right.
Oh, thank God.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Your turn. Mine is companies.
Companies.
First fact. The red and white Coca-Cola logo is recognized by 94% of the world's population. True or false?
I'm going to say true.
Fuck.
Yeah?
Yes, it's true.
Come on.
That's mental. 94%.
That is mental. Do you know what made me think of it? The fact that India's got like 1.3 billion people and China's got 1.8 billion people. And I know they're big brands in those countries.
It's huge.
And so that's already like 30% of the world's
It is
population.
Crazy. All right, my son. Here we go.
Go on.
It's already 1 to him. Ah, damn it. It's not going well. Samsung accounts for 20% of Korea's gross domestic product.
Of Korea's gross domestic product?
Yes.
Is Korea's a company, is it?
No. Korea's a country.
Oh, Korea. Sorry.
What do you think I said?
Careers, like having a career.
No.
So Samsung's responsible for how much?
20% of their GDP.
Wow. I'm going to say false.
Yeah. It's 15.
You made it that close on me. You horrible kid.
That's not horrible. Yeah, so apparently, 15%. How crazy is that?
That is crazy.
That is mental. Here we go. Warner Music owns the copyrights to Happy Birthday. So technically, every time you sing their song, you owe them royalties. True or false?
Fuck it. True.
It's false.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was so outlandish I had to go for it.
They held the copyright up until 2016.
Oh, now so they did actually have
And
that.
then the US judge ruled the song as a public domain.
Interesting.
How crazy! I didn't even know that though. That's mental.
Wow, that is mental. That is absolutely mental.
That's crazy.
I had no idea. I just thought it was so outlandish you wouldn't have come up with it, which you technically didn't, but it's not true anymore.
Cheeky.
Cheeky.
So you got 2 right.
2 right.
You're doing well, mate. You're only halfway through. Pepsi got its name from the digestive enzyme pepsin.
False.
True.
Really?
The name Pepsi comes from the word pepsin, a digestive enzyme that once marketed as stomach aid.
Wow.
The drink was initially promoted as a digestive aid.
Got you.
Crazy.
That is mad.
Here we go. First book to be sold on Amazon was a Bible. True or false?
True.
False.
God, what is it? I think I remember hearing a story about it.
Do you want to guess again?
No. What was
Computer Models of the Fundamental Mechanisms of Thought
it? Okay,
by
never come up with
Douglas
that.
Hofstadters.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Was it sold to somebody in like a different country as well? It was sold to like someone in like Germany or like some.
Well, it sounds like
Netherlands.
a Dutch-German name. To be
Yeah,
fair.
I think they found out
Yeah.
their first order was to like the Netherlands or something. I think I remember that.
Crazy.
Anyway.
Right, you ready?
Oh God, come on, don't flop now.
Lego
Lego.
comes from the Dutch name Leggot, which means play well.
False.
Correct. It's Danish,
Yes.
not Dutch.
Thank
Danish
God.
though.
That's close. You made
still
some
the
of
right
these
thing.
damn close, bro. Jeez.
Well, you're drawing, mate. You're drawing. You got 2 left.
Oh, come on, just get one right. Please get one right.
Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
McDonald's
Okay.
first menu was hot dogs, not burgers. True or false?
False.
True.
What?
Yeah, this baffled me, mate.
I watched that McDonald's film not too long ago. Never saw any hot dogs on there.
When McDonald's first opened in 1940, the menu did feature hot dogs, but no burgers. The introduction of burgers led them to a booming success. So they shifted it.
Okay.
How crazy.
That is mad.
Oh my gosh, it's come down to the last
I don't want to do this
question.
again. I don't want to do this again.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
This is,
Come on, please. 50-50.
I mean, it's a shit one to end on. Anyway, the iPhone
Mm-hmm.
is the best selling product of all time. True or false, my friend?
False.
What is it then?
Not the iPhone.
The iPhone has sold over 2 billion units
Jesus.
since it got released.
I'm still saying false.
Technically, you're correct.
Yes! Come on!
While the
Thank
iPhone has
God.
sold 2 billion, which is the most
Yeah.
ever,
Yeah.
it's not an individual product because there's multiple
Yeah,
drops
because there's
of
multiple
iPhone.
iterations of it.
The Rubik's Cube is technically the
it?
best-selling product of all time.
Wow.
And you win.
I was thinking, do you know what I thought first?
Go on.
I thought it was going to be some sort of like thing like tea bags or something like that. That's what my brain went to.
Oh, right.
But I guess that's not really a product, so I guess I just
No.
saved myself there. By
Yeah.
luck. Do you know what? I still think, even if I was thinking along the lines of products, because the iPhone's only been around for a certain amount of time, I would have thought it would have been something like cars or something like 'cause people have multiple cars rather than multiple
Yeah,
phones.
but technically iPhone is the most sold. Like,
as an overall
product is in the
itemized
phone,
thing,
but not an individual like iPhone 7 or something like that.
Thank God. Yes.
Crazy,
yes,
mate.
Yes. So, hey, I think that was fairly fair. Fairly fair.
Fairly fair. 4-3. Right down to the end again.
Right down to the end.
We could have done a joint one.
Yeah, that's what we had as agreement. If we were going to draw, then it would have been a joint Bizz
Right.
Wheel. However, J-Mo, it's next Bizz Wheel was on you, my
Yes,
friend. So when we
mate.
get into the next segment later in this episode, people, you'll find out what this man has in store. Oh.
And we're back.
You're so drained now.
I just
It's
want to
gonna
know
be okay,
what I'm
man.
going to spin. I don't know yet.
Yeah. But
I need to know.
put it to the back of your mind for now. Let's get
Alright,
back into
alright.
the topic. Let's get...
Anyway, yeah, I hope that doesn't spoil it. Don't skip ahead, but
No,
I think you know one.
because we're about to talk about some important stuff.
Extremely important.
Crucial to your business starts.
Exactly. So, particularly for a small startup like ourselves,
Yeah.
one key thing is when you're going to expand, who do you get?
True.
That is massive.
Who do you get? Where do you find them?
Exactly.
Ooh,
The
that's good
talent.
stuff.
We got to find the talent. And someone who will help leverage your business, whether it's on your own or even with your partner, and hopefully grow to blossom into a tree or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, basically, for us, for example, when we were looking to get a lovely cameraman and editor,
Yes.
we didn't really have a big budget.
We had no budget.
No budget. And I'm sure if you're starting a startup, you might not have a huge budget either.
Yeah.
So here I'm going to tell you a few strategies to help hopefully find some talent to help leverage your own little business that you're creating.
Be very resourceful.
Yes. First of all, one thing we did, we leveraged our network.
Yes.
So we reached out to individuals, whether it was colleagues, work friends, people we knew, people who knew people.
And there's people who knew people who knew people.
Who knew a dog. Anyway, moving on. Exactly. Leverage your network. Networking is key. So if you've got people you know, whether you follow them on social media, they follow you back, whether it's through hobbies, whether it's through work, or even like people that live around you.
Yeah.
Talk to them. Find out if they have a particular skill that you're looking for. Maybe probe, ask a few questions. Do they want to potentially join a business? Do they share a similar vision?
Yeah, keep tabs on the people you know. This is a really
100%.
important thing. You'll be so surprised where, you know, when you're at that sort of school phase and everyone's just dallying around and all this sort of stuff and dicking about. And then you go to college and you start to see people have little passions. Like you see mates go, oh, they're going into DT. Oh, that person's going into like baking or something. Oh, that person's going into like sports and business. Oh, that person's becoming
politics.
This. Like, my point is, like, keep notes on this somehow in your mind. Don't have to write it down. Keep notes on this. And then when you have a business and you go, oh, we need somebody who's going into like for legal documents, you go, oh, well, remember that guy was doing law at A-levels. I'll message him, see how he's getting on with it. Like, that's how you kind of transfer your network and just drop a message. The amount of those people who, as we've said before in the past when we were talking about university students who don't apply their degrees, these people have done education in things that they're interested in subjects, and they're now no longer working in those subjects. If you can bring them back to what they're passionate about by going, oh, I saw you doing a fashion degree. We'd love to have you come and design a product for us. Oh, I saw you doing video editing. Would you be interested in editing a podcast? That network is so vibrant and it's right there for you to have.
It's massive. And also, don't look past, like you said, your schoolmates from way back when, but also tap into your parents' friends.
Their network.
Because they're going to be very experienced in certain avenues and they will have a huge network of people that they can potentially put you in contact with as well.
6 degrees of separation, mate. It's like that. Have you ever heard of that?
Yeah.
Is it 6 or 7? I think it's 6.
I think it's 6.
6.
Like,
so
you know Obama through 6 people.
Exactly.
Like that.
You know everyone through 6 people. If you make 2 connections to get outside into the network, you're covering 50% of the world.
Exactly. And you never know. Someone might owe someone
a favour. That would be good to profit off.
Exactly. And they might go, I know someone who's starting up a business. They're looking for this kind of person. Do you have anyone you know? Or, in fact, you actually could be the person to go help them out. Could you go check this out?
That's a really good point. Also, be willing to give out favours in order to grow your network.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people over the last couple of years that both of us have gone, oh yeah, I'll kind of throw them a bone, I'll do them a hand, I'll give them some help free of charge. You're not having to have financial reward off everything. And this sort of like onus of going, okay, I've done them a little favour here, to then resort to that in the future. Whether people say yes or no for ulterior motives, or whether you've done something for an ulterior motive is by the by. But have that conversation with yourself to go, maybe this will be worth it.
It's popping those eggs in different baskets.
It is.
And making sure you can go back to them and potentially initiate a conversation.
Definitely.
So huge thing, networking. I mean, it is like screamed at you from a young age, to be fair. And you don't really realise the importance until you get older.
Yeah, you're entirely right.
Moving on, like the next one, we've got freelancers, contractors.
Yeah.
I mean, brilliant apps out there, like Fiverr, for example. Do you have any other apps that you know?
Oh,
off the top of your head? If
LinkedIn,
not,
I mean, you find all sorts of people through
that's like
LinkedIn.
your typical professional one, yeah. But like, for example, Fiverr, you can go on there and you can ask someone maybe to design you a logo, give you a thumbnail, potentially design your website, whatever it may be, and they can do it for a fairly decent price. Usually. They also list out all their packages, so if you want to opt in for their silver package, that gives you XYZ. You can do that, or the gold, and you can chat to them, message them, see what work they've previously done.
Response times are really good if you look at the response times for these people as well. Yeah,
but also look at the reviews and stuff like that for the people as well, and make sure you check their work to see if it is valid. Yeah, moving on, I guess you've also got networking events.
True.
If you are coming up in a space where you know an industry is going to hold some sort of event around this, you see a lot of this with tech, for example.
Yeah, good point.
Go to the event. You're probably going to find a lot of like-minded people looking potentially for work or looking to join someone with a potential idea.
And you'll still get something out of it, whether you learn a thing or two about your own business that you need to go away and put into practice because you might not have thought about something. There might be people who are further ahead in the process than you are, or people who are behind you. You also understand your competition, which is good.
Very true, very true. And you get a great little network. If you can take some contacts away from that event, you can potentially reach out to them later on.
Yeah, Vistaprint, go on there, make up a little business card, throw some like contact details on there and run around that place throwing it like you're throwing money at a stripper.
100%.
Just do it like throw them about, get them out there.
But one thing you did mention earlier, which was a brilliant point, is a lot of people go to uni, they'll finish their degree and maybe go on to another job which doesn't really utilize their degree.
Yeah.
If you can touch on people who have gone into university or potentially graduated or are looking for like internships, and you can offer this person potential experience within something they're looking to go into, that's huge. People will turn around and go, I'll happily do a year internship with you just to gain experience, pop it on my CV, and it's most likely free of charge.
It'll be 10 times better than going and doing a 3-year degree or a course or whatever else you want to spend your money on. Working for somebody under the onus of them and their experience and their knowledge, it'd be 10 times more vital for you.
Well, really yeah. Well. So like we're in unis, you have a lot of internships halfway through.
True.
That's what I'm kind of referring to a bit more. Was like when they come to their internship year, if you know someone's potentially going into that and they're in the same industry that you're in and you need their skills or whatever it may be, capabilities, you can approach them and be like, here, I can offer you a year internship in this and I'm building a startup. Yeah. That looks brilliant on a CV as well. So people will snap your hand off of that.
Without a doubt. I mean, I've looked into something a little bit different on this front. So don't get me wrong, having people in your network that come from passion and from your network and so on and so forth is really important. But sometimes you do have to resort, in my opinion, to the experience, to the professionals, to that sort of thing. Reason being is because that expertise and proficiency that comes from a registered professional, for example, let's say you wanted some help with your accountancy. I would much rather trust an accountant who's registered or a company that's registered with their accountancy despite the higher cost price than somebody in my network who decided to go and do an accountancy degree. Because when you bring people in the process for some of those more riskier aptitudes of your business, I personally would prefer to have somebody with a bit of a stronghold of expertise and trust in their delivery of the service that I need from them. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it's not to say that your network wouldn't have that potentially as well. True. You don't necessarily have to go for people who have just finished a uni degree. Yeah. Like I mentioned, you can tap into your parents' network.
Oh, yeah, entirely.
They might have potential. They might actually run a business themselves.
Or they might know an accountant that's worked for them and they can give you that contact. That's a very good point. But that side of networking connections that you get from those professionals is really important.
For those sort of people.
Without
you can't really be going to someone who's currently in their degree and saying, can you do my taxes? It doesn't really work like that.
Exactly. The way I see it is the 3 tenets of things that we've experienced where I've appreciated expertise is legal. Anything legal, I've appreciated expertise. Manufacturing, experienced expertise is vital. You can't go to somebody who's just randomly going to make a project from a garage. And then thirdly is the accountancy, the financial sides of things that we're going to go into. So those are the 3 things that I'd say. As far as gaining experience in your team, it is vital.
Massive. Is vital. Yeah, you do need that for sure.
It will come at a higher cost, but it is what it is.
Definitely. And even with that, having like a mentor as well. Someone who's potentially done what you are doing or has multiple businesses and can steer the ship a little bit if you start to sway, that's key. And that only comes with experience. Like you can't pull that from anywhere.
But there, as we said, there are benefits to people without experience.
Yeah. I mean, you get fresh perspectives, don't you?
That's a really
it's a huge one. So people come straight out of uni, they're not necessarily like pigeonholed into thinking this way and working this way. They can look at your business from an outside perspective and go, oh, what about this? Have you thought of this? Have you thought of that? A lot of young people have all the new trends. They know what's going on in the world as well. Exactly. Yeah. I mean, a lot of old people that I know, particularly in work, and my old man.
Cool.
Joking, not my old man, he's right. But a lot of people that I know are particularly older. They're not really tech savvy. They don't understand this trendy thing. They don't get TikTok. They don't know what it is, stuff like that. Whereas your younger people will, and they can help you.
I mean, we've experienced that firsthand. Our editor behind the scenes here, good old Eminem, he comes up with ideas that just, they're so refreshing. They're brilliant. And they help us, despite making us feel old, despite being mid-20s, like it still allows us to go, that's a sick idea. And it pops off every time. It's so impressive.
I mean, we do think probably quite similar.
We do.
In comparison to
that outside perspective.
In comparison to Eminem, and Eminem will come in and he'll be like, what about this? What about that? We'll be like, it's brilliant. It's refreshing. It's nice to see.
True. I've got a final little point for us as well, before we get on into our cheeky next segment. To look at your network's really important, but to see the skills of people in your network is also just as vital. There could be somebody within your close friends, your close family, or within the company that you already know that might not be utilised for something that they have the potential to fulfil. I effectively call it the mailroom to the CEO ideology. And a real world example of that is Simon Cowell. Simon Cowell, the BGT
X Factor.
producer type man. So he actually started in EMI Music as a mailroom publisher. He was walking around doing the teas, the coffees, and delivering the mail to people's desks. Climbed the ranks over the years, managed to find talent because he was a more modernised individual, saw like bands like Westlife coming up, you know, you raise me up, that lot. And then next thing you know, he becomes a famous judge on American Idol, and now he's known for this sort of blunt critiqueness, but he's a multi-millionaire.
He's done well, hasn't he? I mean,
so to see somebody maybe lower down in your company that might not have the skill set that you think, look at them with finer detail, because they might be hiding something that's really valuable.
100%. I think, like building a team is not just about experience. What have you got on your CV? It's about understanding if they can add proper value to your vision, to what you're trying to succeed to do. So when we looked to approach our editor and cameraman, we wanted to check that he kind of aligned with what our core values were.
Without a doubt.
He smashed out of the park. And we were like, this is the perfect person to bring on, because not only is he starting his own business, but he's also looking to create something on the side. And we were like, this is literally what Suits and Sliders is about. This is literally what we're doing.
It's the puzzle piece, isn't it?
Exactly.
Absolutely the puzzle piece.
So why not bring someone on who has a shared vision? Because that is key.
Without a doubt. So make sure you like and subscribe, and if you get over to Patreon, that will help pay our editor back. So I'm sure he's going to put a little tag down here going, please.
There's a reason why we do these scratch cards as well.
Yeah, we need to pay him somehow.
Anyway,
should we get on into the next segment? Yay! Right, so
not lovely.
We're into Bizz Wheel. As you saw this happen to myself back in episode 4, we're going to kick off with what the wheel spins to be, and then we're going to get into the actual thing that happens in the near future for our good friend Jamie here. We had this slot here that was utilised for Street DJ. Been and gone. So I'll rub this off. And we've had a suggestion sent in.
We have.
Now, we haven't had this by one of our fans as of yet, because you're not sending in enough stuff, guys.
Comments!
Send in some stuff. Let us know what you want to see, because I tell you, we'll do it. We genuinely will do it. However, we went to our third string, our third quartet of the business, Mr. Eminem himself, and he sent us... It's like having the Stig.
It is,
Mr. Eminem.
The Stig.
And he sent us an idea to put on the Bizz Wheel. So our editor-in-chief has sent us the idea of... street mime. So good old in-street mime artists getting dressed up and trying to make money from...
Are they allowed to speak?
No, I'm pretty sure that's the point of a mime. They
chase people with like a hat and go, give me money.
Maybe. Or have you seen the ones that like they pretend to be inanimate and then they like jump out on people?
Yeah.
So street mime is now there for you to see, J-Mo. There's a bunch of others on there. Anything that you really, really don't want?
Where is it? There it is. I think the pop-up silent disco might have set us back a little bit.
That'd be a difficult one to pull off. I will give you that. But I thought Street DJ would have set us back, but you just find your own way with it. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Give it a good old spin, because it's tough to do. But I guess there's nothing more to be said, people. Got it on the camera. Here we go. Temporary tattoo stand.
Okay.
James going to be out in public convincing people to get temporary tattoos.
I will tattoo people.
Do you know what? I think that's not too bad.
Yeah, it's just convincing people to get a tattoo.
Yeah. Maybe you have to put loads over yourself to be like a reliable tattoo artist.
I think I'm going to get some like bad tattoos as well.
God. Anyway,
that's some nice.
That's the spin. Any ideas off the bat, mate, or are you just gonna
walk around with tattoos and be like, "That's 50p."
Okay. Well, we're about to see it now, people. How much money do you think you're gonna make?
I think profits.
Yeah.
Oh, more than £6. Considering yeah, I'll make more than £6.
That's been said. Let's see how he gets on. Spectacle? Oh, special.
What are you on about, spectacle?
never seen him like this. This is hilarious.
No, individual tattoos. Not on me, I don't have any. Here.
Depends how much you pay him, really.
Cheeky.
So I've got to count how many are on there.
So
Hey, you take a stab in the dark.
Also a sheet under there. So you can take a stab in the dark to see how many I can get. You gonna give it a go? It's £1 for 2 guesses.
Boom, and we're in. Just like that. Mate, I got him his first sale.
Have you got change?
I do have change. You got tenner? Okay. Oh, I don't know about that much change.
She's guessing a lot. She's guessing a lot. We're getting
You can cut them, take them away, if you have anyone who might like them.
I'd want to do the guess.
You want to do the guess?
Yeah.
Right, for a tenner. Have you got anything else? Have you only got a tenner? I can do cards. You want to do cards?
No, it's alright, it's alright, it's alright. I'll use my card.
Alright, let me connect it up. Hold on. Oh my gosh. Well, you can gift it to someone. You got £1. Oh, fantastic. That saves me setting it up. Alright.
Where's this video going?
This is going on YouTube.
Oh, brilliant. Awesome.
Yes. So the camera's there if you want to say hi.
We're going to guess.
You get 2 guesses. And if you get it right, you take the away the egg. I've only just set it up as well.
Right, I got a math GCSE soon, guys. So,
You get 2 guesses between all of you.
right, now
So you got to come together and put your heads together.
is there more than that?
There is a little bit more.
So,
But you just got to take a stab in the dark.
yeah, but imagine if you just got it out and we just counted them.
Just guess.
What are you going for?
Guess first.
No, you two do, because there's only 2 guesses.
No, but we can do one together and then
Alright,
you do one.
100.
Okay. No.
No, because you can't count it. I'm going to say like them and there's like 8 on each. 67. I can't.
So that's your guess, yeah? 167.
No, not 100.
No, 167.
Okay, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah? Unfortunately, you're just off. Very close, though, which is kind of worrying. You want a tattoo? You can take one.
Yeah, can I have a tattoo?
Do you want me to put it on you, or do you want to? Yeah. What do you want?
Sorry.
Love
Love you guys.
This first sale's going on for quite a while. He's doing well. We got Tom in the distance.
Welcome.
Where's that gone?
Today we're gonna terrorise the public.
But can we know
This
how
is a
much there are now that
disaster.
we're not playing?
No, because you might guess again.
You might tell somebody. No.
You might tell someone actually.
Tell everyone I know.
We have no friends, please.
I know what you're like. You'll post it on
Oh
Instagram.
dear.
Oh, yes.
Go to Tailgate Park.
Wait, I want to know.
None of my friends
What's your
really care.
YouTube again? I'm going to put my notes. So we
Socks
can...
and sliders or something.
Suits and sliders.
Why?
Socks and sliders.
So
Why?
we can see us on YouTube. No, why is it called Socks and Sliders?
Why is this not
Suits and sliders.
Yeah. Why don't you get one as well? Actually, I want that one. I want that one.
Hi guys, welcome back to my
I want that
YouTube
one.
channel.
Can I cut it out?
Cameras aren't our car.
Can I cut it out?
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're going to be abusing the public.
Giving them lovely
We're going to be
tattoos.
taking their money,
Look at this.
even though they got their addresses right. Showing their grandparents inappropriate.
Well, now one else to get one.
How's that?
Oh, brilliant!
Beautiful.
That's quite
Let's
lovely.
do your one. Go. You ready?
Yeah.
The grand reveal. Oh, look at that.
Thanks.
Do you want to get on camera quickly? Look at that, hey? Amazing.
I'm coming back. Yeah.
Yeah, come back. I'll be here. I'll be here.
When the card machine's back on.
Yes, I'm getting the card machine on. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Hello, ladies. Would you like a tattoo? Would you like an Easter egg potentially to win? You sure? Happy Easter. Got it working. Would you like a tattoo? Temporary tattoo. You sure? It will look really good on you. Okay. And my egg is going. Oh no. Can someone grab that? Would you like to win an Easter egg or have a tattoo? Are you sure, yeah? No worries, no worries. Have a good Sunday.
Yeah, you too, mate. Oh, pigeon. Don't know what the fuck that was. Oh, he's got a mum and a little girl. That's so cute. She's almost as tall as Jamie, do you notice? Flick to Tom, seeing how tall she is compared to Jamie.
Would you like one?
Yeah? You do? You sure?
Yeah.
Which one would you like? £1, thank you very much. Is there any one you would particularly like?
And then how much to guess how many tattoos you got?
It's another £1 if you'd like. You get 2 guesses for £1 to potentially get it.
I got my scooter.
That's a very good scooter. I think Tom would look lovely on that.
Yeah.
He would. He likes princesses. This should work. There we go. It's £5. Perfect.
He's just told me they've made £5 on the sale. 5? Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. No, this is for the business. I'm happy about this. Yeah, this is good. This is positive. We like this.
Oh, come on. Did I take the film off? I don't think I did I? Oh, shit. If it doesn't work, I'll give you another one for free. I didn't take the film off. I don't even know how to work my own tattoos here. Ooh, that hasn't worked. Do you want another one? I'm so sorry. You can have 2. You can have 2 more. I fucked it. Oh, it's not out yet. Not out yet. It's got 30 seconds. These are taking forever. These are longer than the other ones that I've tried.
Should we check in with Tom? Let's see how Tom's doing. How are we getting on, Tom?
Good. They've got the 2 buy 2 get 1 free of the naughty stickers.
Interesting. I am so surprised. It's sale after sale.
It is.
And he's doing nothing for it.
It's not even like that much traffic compared to your one.
No. It's like music put people off, isn't it? Or maybe it's my face.
Maybe.
It's my face.
Do you want a tattoo?
I'm right, thank you.
You sure? Yeah.
Right, and we are back from Bizz Wheel.
Crazy.
What an ordeal that was.
That was a bit. The emotions were all over the shop, you know.
Emotional
as soon as we
roller coaster.
arrived, we're like, we're gonna get stopped straight away,
Yeah.
guaranteed. Then we walked to our spot, no one was about. A police officer turned up. Straight away, walked straight past
Yeah,
us.
the police officer walked past you twice.
Twice.
I was blown away. I was like, why? What's the purpose of them being there if they're not going to ask questions about things like this?
Didn't even come up to us once.
Didn't come up to us. But she
Yeah.
was looking at you
Yeah.
dead straight, and I was like,
Was she? 'Cause,
yeah, both times.
Tom was doing my mic.
No, I caught on
Yeah.
camera. I don't know if it's on the video or not.
Anyway, but we did all right. I was
You did do
pleasantly
all right.
surprised,
You did really
considering we kind of wrapped up probably a little bit earlier than I would have liked,
Yeah.
due to losing the camera, which we now found.
If you, by the way, I don't know how much of this is going to be in. Oh wait, no, this is going to be in the original episode. This is all Patreon, isn't it? So,
Yeah,
this is Patreon. As you've seen, like what a palaver with that camera at the end. But we're okay. We came to the resolution of finding it. We're all good. And we move on, but it could have been another big
It
fuck
could have
up
been
for
worse.
us. And
I
there
mean-
was some responsibility on us because of we can't do that again.
I know. Well, one mistake I did make was I forgot the scissors. So we had to go buy scissors, which adds to my
Forgot about that,
total.
yeah.
So
Yeah,
we're
yeah.
looking at, what was it?
It was originally
26.
22, so it went up to 26, I think it was.
Yeah, so we called it 26, right?
But anyway, how much did you make? Let's break it down.
I mean, so we called it 26, but do we subtract this back off because no one won it?
But you bought it.
I could go send it back technically,
You could.
or I could potentially allow these lovely members to have a guess of my tattoos.
True.
So the whole point of the egg, right, was people had to guess how many individual tattoos I was selling to people on the street on that day.
Yeah.
No one got it right. So
Right,
technically
here we
no
go,
one's
people.
won.
Competition is now live. If you get in the comments, we'll put it up on the stories on the social medias as well.
You're allowed 2 guesses.
You're allowed 2 guesses.
That's what everyone got for £1.
And if you guess the right number, you win the Easter egg.
And we'll send it to you. Sign it as well.
Suits and sliders sign.
Bosh.
Suits and sliders sign it. That's a tongue twister. Try and say that
Yeah.
three times.
Second competition.
Second competition with the Patreons.
Anyway, money-wise,
Money-wise.
did well. Literally.
You did do really well.
People kept coming up to me. They couldn't stop coming up
It was
to me. It
endless.
was
You didn't have to
crazy.
do anything to get the
I
money
know.
as well.
So I think we ended up, in total, with this cash and also the bank kind of card machine that we had,
Yeah.
looking at £15.
15.
Not bad, eh? Not
That's outstanding.
And I do think I could have broken the 20 mark had I been there for a little bit longer selling.
And if it was a nicer day as well.
Oh, if it was a nicer
day, you would have had a crowd.
I would have floored it,
You would have had a crowd.
But yeah, so £15, not bad. So £11 deficit we're looking at.
Yeah, not bad. Not better than my £20 deficit. So
yeah, we're improving.
We are improving.
It's going up again.
Soon, can you imagine if soon enough we start like not only breaking even, but can you imagine if we did really well? I watched a video recently actually. Here's a little extra for Patreon. There's a guy named Ryan Trahan, and he does like this thing where he like tries to double a pound every day for like a bunch of days.
Yeah.
But once he makes the double, he has to stop instantly. So sometimes he tries to get close to the mark by doing a certain business idea, then he spends some of his budget so that he can have stuff for the next day that he starts, and then he'll get over the mark. It's really, really great video. It's like an hour long.
Ryan who?
Ryan Trahan. Really great YouTuber.
Check him out.
And one of his business ideas was to make bath bombs for men.
Yeah.
And it pops off. It really pops off. It's so good. Well, I'll show you about it personally.
Nice.
It could be an idea for a future business.
Yeah, potentially.
Speaking of which,
we need to rub that one off.
Let's. Do you want? You have the pleasure of rubbing it off. I'll grab a pen quickly.
Well, I think temporary tattoo stand. All in all,
fairly good success.
I mean, in hindsight, I probably could have done the most expensive one, tattoo sheet.
Yeah.
Was the naughty one.
True.
It was £12.
But you got some sales on it.
I did, but if I had got rid of that, I potentially could have leveraged it and just sold what I had because people were buying that stuff.
True. Did you sell any of the Easter ones?
I sold none of the I sold a realistic one as well.
Did you sell the Easter ones as well?
Yeah, I sold some Easter ones.
Well, hey, we live and we learn. There's good things taken away from it. It's bad.
But you've got to think about it. If we're there for like an hour and a half, you've got to make it optimal for that time. I think if I'd have been there for 3+ hours, I would have easily done more than what I spent.
Yeah.
So I need to think of that next time.
You do. Nevertheless, people, as you can see, we've got a missing space. Needs to be filled. Let us know. Give us some ideas.
My suggestion, right, is we get our editor to do one of these. So we could write almost like another life. So if we spin it, and it lands on this one, it says Tom must do the wheel, or something like that. And Tom has to come and spin it, and wherever it lands on, he has to do that.
That's a good idea.
Potentially, that's what I'm thinking.
Anyway, we'll have some suggestions. Maybe like a top comment or what our favourite is for the week.
Yeah.
We will get on there. And now we've got a couple of weeks to relax until one of us brutally goes through this again. And we don't know who it's going to be.
No, hopefully Tom.
Anyway, thanks very much for coming and joining us on this extended Bizz Wheel Sunday special. We love you. We will see you on Tuesday with an extended episode 9. It'll be. And we move on. Almost to the 10 mark.
We move on. Adios, people. Much love.
Toodle. Pippa.
Bye-bye. Okay. So.
Okay.
Very interesting.
How do you think you got on? Do you really think that you surpassed the £6 marker?
I think. Well,
you got some ideas floating.
So you made a loss of.
Well, if
was it like £19?
If we're counting your £5 charge, then yeah, we're talking a minus 19.
Okay, well, even if it's not, you still made a loss. As long as I make a profit, I'll be happy.
Fair enough.
Because then, in my eyes, I'm contributing to the business. You know, I'm making us cash.
My scratch card contributed to the business.
So did mine.
Kind of offset it, but yeah.
I made £1.
Yeah, but they cost £2 for the 2 scratch cards. Anyway,
anyway. Yeah, you're getting into it too much. I think as long as I make profit, that's a dub, in my opinion.
I agree.
If I can make more than £6, that would be insane.
True.
Because I don't think it's going to cost me £6. No, it actually might. I'll probably need to make more than £6.
Probably.
I'll figure it out. Anyway, you've seen it, so
we'll see. Yeah, guys, send in your likes, comments, and your future Bizz Wheel ideas that we'll get to in the future.
Yeah,
we
we
hope
need
you
another
enjoyed
one.
that.
Need to replace that one, don't we? Now,
and there'll be an extended version of that on the Patreon to go and check out 2 days ago, actually.
Basically. 2 days ago.
2 days in
You
the
missed
past.
Go see it.
YouTubers.
Yeah, there'll also be bloopers as well.
There will be plenty.
Sunday.
I can see so many bloopers coming out of this one.
There'll be a lot of good bloopers.
Anyway.
I think it's going to be success.
I reckon so. I believe in you.
Thank you.
That's all right.
Love is in the air, isn't it?
It is.
Truly is.
Um,
But no, I think that was a good little podcast there. I liked it. I think,
agree.
yeah, you just got to understand when you're looking for a business partner, whether it's a family member or a friend or anyone else, basically get them to align with your vision and your goal.
Treat it
That's
like you would a
ultimately the
relationship.
big thing.
It is a marriage of vision. It is a marriage of work. It's a marriage of all sorts. And so you really have to get down on your knees and beg the other person to love you until kingdom come, because it's going to be tough at times. You need somebody to trust.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Cool, boys and girls.
Lovely jubbly. Like, subscribe, comment, let us know your thoughts, and we'll see you in the near futures.
Cheerio.
To the pip!
Oh my god. I've stuffed this. Can we do the segment again? I have not read this before.